Alicia, thank you. Thank you very much. A fiery end to a brief pursuit in Hancock Park this afternoon. Air 7 was over the scene as the driver slams into a stoplight pole on Beverly Boulevard in Gower. Then he tried to keep driving for a few feet, dragging the pole under his car, but that's when the car caught fire, and that's when the driver bailed out. He got down on the ground as the car went up in flames and police moved in. It all started with a report of an erratic driver. Police say he refused to pull over and blew through several stop signs before it all ended here. He was taken into custody.
Where are you and what's going on?
Oh!
Whoa.
You just saw that right there. I don't know if that was, you just got that, but he almost crashed. It is a pursuit. This is going to be in downtown Los Angeles, or just south of downtown Los Angeles, just past 48th Street. We are westbound and making the wrong side of the road. We're hearing the LAPD telling the officers to back off, to get out of this pursuit. Do not follow this guy, and just go to tracking mode. Right now, though, he's making his way southbound. There is still a helicopter overhead. You can see LAPD lighting this guy up, moving very, very quickly out here through these tiny, tiny streets. We know that there was a passenger inside this vehicle, and then the driver slowed down. Passenger jumped out. I believe that passenger has been taken into custody. Right now, though, this vehicle is still being followed by Air 3. And they're telling the officers to back off because of his crazy driving. Helicopter staying overhead. But take a look at this, driving very, very erratically through these very small streets in these neighborhoods.
Stu, any information tonight, Stu?
That appears to be a Mustang. That's going to be a performance car that can go pretty fast. Yeah. And we know Stu Mandela is overhead.
That's right. Stu, any information on what the original want is for this driver?
You know, we heard that it may be a stolen vehicle. Right now, though, the big concern, though, for LAPD is the safety of the public. This vehicle driving extremely fast has made a couple of very, very close calls, almost striking other vehicles. I don't know if you saw it right before we went live, but he ran through a red light. He runs through all these solid red lights. A lot of cars out here this evening, and he's gotten very close to a bunch of other vehicles. So, LAPD's very, very clear on this. They're worried about the safety of the public, and they're backing off all the units on the ground down there. Now, LAPD also has to be concerned if they back off and something happens. They don't want to have this liability. And also, this person driving very erratically this evening, and apparently almost for no reason, making a very sharp turn there. I'm going to get you some streets here in just a moment, because that's what we want to do. We want to get this out to the people down there on the ground. If this is going through your neighborhood, we want to let you know. Right now, though, he's working his way, I believe, southbound on a major street out here. We've all worked our way down to 48th Street earlier on. This Mustang, not slowing down, driving very erratically, running every red light he's had a chance to, he has blown through and has gotten very close to striking other vehicles. Whoop, whoop, onto the sidewalk. Look at somebody running. Did you guys just see that? Somebody running out of the way, trying to get away from that guy. He drove up on the sidewalk through the grass there. There was a bank. Some guy standing there. Now, this is the kind of stuff that LAPD, this is where it gets so complicated, and you've just got to think, like, who's going to be the guy that makes this call? If they back off, this guy hurts somebody, they haven't done their job. If they stay behind him and he hurts somebody, they haven't done their job. So it's a very, very complicated situation for LAPD. This guy, though, driving extremely erratic out here this evening, drove up on the sidewalk there. He's going about 80, 90 miles an hour right now on surface streets out here in the Los Angeles area. The helicopter overhead keeping an eye on it, but other than that, there are no lights and sirens behind him right now. You can see those lights, those brake lights lighting up, working his way, turning back onto another smaller street out here, slowing down, though. Perhaps this is where this guy is going to jump out, but the sooner he gets out of that car and the public is safe, the happier at least I will be watching this evening. This guy taking so many chances, and it seems like, there we go, coming to a stop out here. We'll get you some street names. There he goes, running, left that car in drive. We see that so commonly. Running is through some houses out here. We're going to move Sky 9 around. Check that out. This guy's got a stride, but LAPD, they got his light on him. Up, trying to get over a fence right there. We'll see this guy going into custody hopefully shortly here, running into an apartment building. Some very dangerous thing we saw right there. That guy looked like he was holding his pants, so that could assume that he might have something there that officers might not want to hear about, possibly a weapon. You can see those lights right now, 2 LAPD helicopters overhead, trying to get an idea where this guy is. We're going to get Sky 9 to do an orbit around it, see if we can get a better view on the other side. Right now, though, we'll get you a location. This pursuit coming to an end as that driver jumps out and runs and is hiding in an apartment building here in South Los Angeles. There he is, there he is, there he is. He's running, he's running. He's running again. There he is. He's coming out to the main street. There he is, he's out in the front. There it is. Well, the latest is what you're seeing right there. This guy coming to an end here, basically just throwing himself on the ground. Where are we? Marco, do you know where we are?
We'll send it back to you.
All right, 7:08, Eric, thank you. Live pictures now, breaking news. Mark Kono is in Sky 5 HD over the San Fernando Valley, I-5 North to be specific, in the Arleta area. We have a pursuit going on. Mark.
That's right, Frank. Good morning, everyone here. The CHP, the California Highway Patrol out of Newhall, apparently picking up this vehicle here. It looks like a charcoal-colored, possibly a Mazda, possibly a Lexus. They initiated a pursuit, or they attempted a traffic stop, but there was a failure to yield, and there was a pursuit that is now ongoing here southbound on the 5. We kind of have been watching this person as he was making his way through the Sylmar area, now through Pacoima and Arleta, and now in towards Sun Valley. So he just transitioned from the southbound side of the 5 past the 170. So coming into Sun Valley, he'll be passing the Sheldon off-ramp, and there he goes, kind of moving at a semi-fast rate of speed here in the number 2 lane, of traffic here. I can tell you, looking ahead, not too much in the way of traffic as far as him slowing down at the very least. But here he goes. It looks like he's making efforts to move over to the right shoulder here. This guy has been kind of waving his arms up and down here at the CHP officer as he was kind of making his way southbound on the 5 freeway from the 118. So let's see what this guy does. In fact, it looks like he might be pulling over, or at least getting into the right lane of traffic here. He has an opportunity to get off the freeway. He does not. So he stays on the 5 freeway here, and now the pursuit continues southbound on the 5 through the Sun Valley area here. I can tell you in the next couple of miles approaching Buena Vista, things are going to slow down for him, but I can tell you that things were definitely slowing down through Pacoima and Arleta, and he kind of made his way through the traffic, weaving in and out of the slower guys, and kind of made his way through an area where he is now able to proceed at full speed here. Now, there is only one unit, one officer on a motorbike following this guy, chasing this guy, in fact, and he is doing his best to call out positions to the dispatcher here. They're looking for an airship to get overhead. Sky 5 HD is the first and only helicopter over this particular pursuit at this time. Now, southbound on the 5, you can kind of see this one guy in the vehicle. We believe he is the only person, the only occupant inside of this, what is believed to be a Mazda, maybe a Lexus here. Again, southbound on the 5. We will continue to watch this, guys. Let me hand it over to you for just a moment so I can talk to Burbank Tower.
All right. It's incredible that Mark's hundreds of feet in the air, and you can get a real zoomed-in kind of shot of the guy driving this car. Again, this is a pursuit we're watching, 5 southbound, headed into Sun Valley, I believe, area. It's hard to tell the speeds, too, from this angle, exactly how fast this guy is going. But again, this started with an attempted traffic stop and a failure to yield. So now you can see it has turned into a pursuit. It looks like he's getting off here at an exit ramp, and we'll check in with Mark to see where exactly this is.
Well, as Mark just said, he is driving a Mazda, and what's remarkable to me is it looks like he's just so casual. Looks like a commuter.
Arm out the window,
arm out the window. Looks like he's wearing like a shirt, like he's going to the office. Mark, are you able to speak with us?
Yeah, we are just on the approach end of runway 15 here at Burbank Airport, and they actually have some departures going away, so we're in a good spot here for now. He just got off the freeway at Sunland Boulevard, and he's just crossing over the 5. In fact, now being pursued by 2 officers, 2 units of the CHP. You can see that one cruiser, that one SUV, has now picked up the pursuit, and now he is working Sunland Boulevard just on the kind of the east side of the 5 freeway here. It looks like he's going to stay on Sunland Boulevard, and he's not going to pull over, against kind of the wishes of the officers here, but it looks like, okay, he's going to pulling into a neighborhood. Guys, he's just made a right turn into the neighborhood, so out of the commercial area into a residential neighborhood. I can see a church. I can see where Glen Oaks Boulevard kind of meets in this particular area here, but it looks like he may be if he makes a left, he's going to put himself into a cul-de-sac here. But if he goes straight, he's going to get over to Glen Oaks Boulevard here, and he still has some options to keep this pursuit going here. On his left side, he's just passing the parking lot of a nearby church, but he is just, again, coming up on Glen Oaks Boulevard here. But it looks like he's going to be pulling in.
Unfortunately, we've just lost the signal for a second. There, it's back, and he's pulled over. Mark, if you can hear us, pick it up from there.
Yeah, here he goes. He's just pulled over on a residential street right between Sunland Boulevard and Glen Oaks here in Sun Valley. So let's see what he does. This pursuit has been going on again, as I mentioned, for the better part of 15 to 20 minutes. The CHP attempting to pull this guy over in the Newhall area when he was southbound on the 5. Perhaps he was stuck in some of that traffic from that earlier signal alert at Calgrove. But once he started to break free, maybe that's when he kind of picked up speeds, and that's perhaps when the CHP noticed this activity here. But it looks like he is finally being taken into custody here. He is still resisting. What is this guy doing? I mean, he is still resisting officer efforts to voluntarily and willingly get out of the vehicle here. Now they are having to take him down by force. And so, unfortunately, that's just what's going to happen when you have an uncooperative suspect in this case. But again, he is going to be taken into custody thanks to the efforts of those 2 officers here. Again, this is going to be on a residential street. It's in a triangle right between Glen Oaks Boulevard and Sunland Boulevard. You saw it right here, southbound on the 5, where he actually exited the Sunland Boulevard exit, made his way over the 5 freeway over towards Glen Oaks, and now he is being taken into custody forcibly, but again, nevertheless, he is going to be taken into custody, and that is definitely some good news. Guys?
You know, this ended differently. A lot of times we see the commands, get out of the car, put your hands up, get on the ground, so I wonder if he wasn't obeying their commands, and that's why they
Well,
pulled him out of the car.
often they'll do what they call the felony stop and wait it out, but they just approach this car and drag the guy out. It's a bizarre one. Like we said, looks like he's dressed and ready to go to work or something, and who knows, maybe he's coming back from somewhere else. And but the good news is that he has been taken into custody. No one's been injured, and we'll find out what this was all about, and tell you when we find out.
All right, Mark Kono, we see he's being put there in the back of the Highway Patrol. We appreciate you following this for us. Again, a pursuit ended safely, thankfully, especially in a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.